Dear students, welcome to the sixth lecture on engineering mechanics. We will be continuing with our discussions on rectilinear kinetics. Thanks to Ritin and Sabrin helping me put this lecture together. Let us quickly look through the basics of kinetics. In the first case, we considered a block of 50 Newton supported by a string in a fixed support. It is in a state of rest. We calculate that the tension as 50 Newton from our basic equations of statics. Then we considered the same block with the same string. However, in this case it was accelerating downward. So in this case, when we analyze using Newton's laws of motion, we got the tension as 55 Newton. So in both the cases, if you see, there is an increase in the tension in the case where the block is in a state of motion. So we came to the conclusion that motion induces forces in the objects, and kinetics is the study of forces induced in objects because of motion. Then we considered a different method of analyzing problems in dynamics. So in the first case, what we did was we analyzed it using Newton's law of motion. That is, by second law, the net force is equal to mass into acceleration. In the second case, what we did is we first drew the free body diagram with all the known forces acting on it. Then what we did was we assessed the direction of acceleration acting on it. In this case it was downward. Then we introduced an imaginary force on the body which is known as the inertial force, having a magnitude equal to mass into acceleration and in a direction opposite to the net acceleration. And under the action of this inertial force, the body comes into a state of dynamic equilibrium. When we say dynamic equilibrium, the body, this is the equilibrium of the body at any instant we are considering inertial force to act on it. Inertial force is not acting throughout the body, throughout the state of motion of the body. It is only an imaginary force which we are assuming to act on the body, and under the action of this inertial force the body comes into a state of dynamic equilibrium, that is equilibrium while in motion. So we can apply the net force acting on it equal to 0 because it is in equilibrium, and we get the same results. So basically the concept of D'Alembert's principle, what it does is it is helping us to see a problem of dynamics equivalent to a problem of statics or equivalent to a problem of equilibrium. Therefore, D'Alembert's principle states that a body is in a state of dynamic equilibrium under the action of an imaginary inertial force. The magnitude of this force is mass into net acceleration, and the direction is opposite to the direction of net acceleration. We considered several problems of blocks suspended from strings in the previous case. In all those cases, the blocks were suspended in the vertical direction. In this lecture, we will be considering blocks suspended in the horizontal as well as on inclined planes. So in this case, we have block A and block B. Block A is supported on a horizontal plane and block B is on a vertical plane. The very first step is to assess the tension in the strings. So to assess the tension in the strings, what we have to do is tension on strings passing over a massless pulley is the same. Therefore, the tension on both sides of this pulley will be the same. Then next thing what we have to do is we have to assess the direction of accelerations. So to do this, what we will assume is we will assume that the directions are all accelerations are always directed away from the pulleys. So this will be AA and this will be AB, both directed away from the pulley. Next is we need to find relationship between these accelerations. To do that, we have to assume reference lines. So reference lines should be assumed perpendicular to the direction of the string connecting the block. For example, this is the string connecting block A to the pulley, so this will be one reference line perpendicular to it. Similarly, the next reference line will be perpendicular to the string connecting the block to the pulley, so this will be the next reference line. And XA and XB will be the displacements directed away from the reference lines or directed away from the pulley. Now if you try to write the constraint relation, the first term in the constraint relation, that is XA, second term is XB, is equal to the length up to the datum. So the first term is this distance XA, plus the second term is this distance xb. This is equal to the length up to the datum. We are not considering this distance because it is a fixed distance. So you differentiate displacement one time, you will get velocity. You differentiate it twice, you will get acceleration. So AA plus AB is equal to 0. The differentiation of length will be equal to 0 because it is a constant. So AA equals minus AB. So this will be our equation number 1. Next, what we have to do is we have to consider the free body diagram of each of the blocks. Let us consider the free body diagram of block A. So its weight mass is 60 kilogram. So weight will be 60 into acceleration due to gravity, that is 60 g. Acting in the vertically downward direction, normal reaction will be acting in the upward direction. Tension will be acting on the horizontal direction. It is assumed to accelerate towards the left, so inertial force will act in the towards the right. If under the action of inertial force, it will be in a state of dynamic equilibrium. If we write the equation of equilibrium in horizontal direction, we will get T plus 60A equal to 0. This will be equation number 2. Next is we consider the free body diagram of block B. So for block B, we again have the mass is 50 kilogram. So 50 g will be weight acting downward. Tension will be acting in the upward direction. Acceleration is in the downward direction. Therefore, inertial force MAB will be acting in the upward direction. Under the action of inertial force, the dynamic equilibrium of the block B is going to occur, and we can write the equation of equilibrium as T plus 50AB equals 50 into 9.81. So T plus 50AB equals 490.5. That will be our equation number 3. So now we have 3 equations. You substitute equation number 1 in equation 2. You will get 2 equations, T minus 60AB equal to 0 and T plus 50AB equals 490.5. Solving these 2 equations, you will get the tension as 267.6 Newton, AA equals minus 4.46 meter per second square, and AB equals 4.46 meter per second square. So what we have to understand is, when we have a negative sign in the acceleration, it means that it is accelerating or moving in a direction opposite to the direction we have assumed. Now let us consider another example. In this example, we have the block, one of the blocks in an inclined plane. Also we have a rough surface, that is friction is there in the surface. So first thing we have to do is we have to assess the tension in the strings. So tension will be the same throughout the string because it is a single string passing over multiple pulleys. Similarly, we also have to assess the tension in this particular string. So to do that, what you have to do is you draw the free body diagram of this particular block. So if you draw the free body diagram of this pulley, you can see that tension is this tension will be acting upward, this also will be acting upward. Therefore there will be a 2T acting downward on this pulley to balance it. To balance that, again there will be a 2T acting on this particular block in the upward direction. So the tension in this particular block will be 2T in the upward direction. Now next thing is we have to develop the relationship between accelerations. We assume that accelerations are all directed away from the pulleys. So accelerations assumed to directed away from the pulleys. Next thing is we need the reference line. So reference line should be, the rule for drawing the reference line is they should be perpendicular to the strings connecting the blocks to the pulleys. So the first reference line is perpendicular to the string connecting block A to the pulley, and the second reference line will be perpendicular to the strings connecting block B to the pulley. Next is the displacement of block A is XA, the displacement of the pulley is XB. Here we are not finding the displacement of block B to the reference line because this pulley and this block will be having the same nature of movement. That means if this pulley moves by 1 meter, this block also move by 1 meter. If this pulley is having an acceleration A, this block will also be having the same acceleration. Therefore it is enough that we analyze displacement and acceleration of this pulley. Now, writing the constraint relation, if you look here, the first term in the constraint relation is XA. The second term in the constraint relation is this distance XP. This distance over the pulley we are neglecting because it is a fixed distance. Similarly, the next distance is pi r, that is this distance. You may write it or you can also neglect that also. Then the next distance is xp, this distance xp. So this total is equal to length of the string up to the datum. So if you differentiate this twice, you will get AA plus 2AP equal to 0. Now the motion of the pulley and block B is the same. Therefore, we replace AP by AB. So AA plus 2AB equal to 0. You will get equation number 1 as AA equals minus 2AB. Next is we need to successfully analyze the free body diagrams of block A as well as block B. So if we analyze the free body diagram of block B, the weight is acting vertically downward. You can replace them by their components along the plane and normal to the plane. 600 cos 40 and 600 sin 40. Next is there is normal reaction. Then you have tension 2T acting the upward direction. Then it is accelerating the downward direction. Therefore, there will be inertial force in the upward direction. Now, in addition to all these forces, there will also be frictional force. And what will be the direction of frictional force? The direction of frictional force will always be opposite to the direction, assumed direction of movement. So there are two different forces here. First force is inertial force. Inertial force will be directed opposite to the direction of net acceleration. Second is frictional force. Frictional force will act in a direction opposite to the assumed direction of movement. In this case, we are assuming the block to move in the downward direction. Therefore, frictional force will be in the upward direction. And it will be mu into Rn, where Rn is the normal reaction. So if you write the equation of equilibrium in the along the plane, the first term is 2T acting upward. The second term is the inertial force, that is weight is 600, therefore 600 by 9.81 is the mass into AB, plus the third force is mu into 600 cos 40 degree. Mu is given as 0.25, and the last term is 600 sin 40 acting downward. So you can get the equation as 2T plus 61.16 AB equals 270.76. This will be your equation number 2. Now considering free body diagram of block A, 400 Newton is acting downward, tension is acting upward. AA will be acting in the downward direction. Therefore, inertial force will be acting in the upward direction. Under action of inertial force, body is in a state of dynamic equilibrium. You write the equation of equilibrium. You will get it as T plus 40.77 AA equals 400. This is our equation number 3. Now if you draw the write the three equations, these are the three equations that we have got, and if you substitute equation number 1 in equation 2, we will get 2T minus 122.32 AA equals 270.76. Similarly, T plus 40.77 AA equals 400. Solving this, we will get tension equals 294.15 Newton, AB equals minus 1.3 meter per second square, and AA equals 2.6 meter per second square. The negative sign indicates that the direction of movement or acceleration is opposite to the direction that we have assumed. So another case that we have to analyze is motion of lifts. So motion of lift is also similar to a block suspended by a string over a pulley. Now in this particular case, we have to see the various cases of motion of the lift. That is, the lift may be accelerating downward, it may be decelerating downward, it may be accelerating upward, it may be decelerating upward. So 4 different cases are there. So each of the different case, let us try to analyze. It is similar to the way that we have solved the problems in the previous cases, but still we will look at as a particular case. So let us consider the case of the lift accelerating downward. So what we have to do is we have to uh, draw the free body diagram of the lift. Let the total weight of the lift cabin be W. Tension will be acting in the upward direction. It is accelerating downward. Therefore, inertial force will act in the upward direction. Now, if you consider the dynamic equilibrium of the block, you can write it as T plus MA. M can be replaced as W by G. So T plus W by G into A equals W. So T is equal to W into 1 minus A by G. This is the equation of equilibrium of the lift. So in this way you can find the tension in the lift. You can see that the tension in the lift is decreased because of its accelerating in the downward direction. Now let us consider how we will analyze problems where the lift is decelerating downward direction. So if it is decelerating in the downward direction, all you have to do is you have to replace a in this particular equation by minus a. That means, so for problems where you are having deceleration in the downward direction or retardation in the downward direction, first you develop free body diagrams for the case it is accelerating downward. You develop equations of motion for the case it is accelerating downward. After having developed the necessary equations, then in that particular equation that you have developed, replace a by minus a if it is retardation or deceleration. Let us consider the case where the lift is accelerating upward. We have the free body diagram. Weight is acting downward, tension is acting upward. It is accelerating in the upward direction. Inertial force will be in the downward direction. If we consider dynamic equilibrium, we will get T minus W by G into A equals W. T equals W into 1 plus A by G. In a similar way, if you are considering the case of the lift decelerating upward, what we have to do is first draw the free body diagram for the case where the lift is accelerating upward. Develop the equations for this particular case where it is accelerating upward, and in those equations that you have developed, simply substitute a by minus a if it is a case of deceleration or retardation. Now let us consider an example. We have a lift of total weight 5000 Newton and it is moving up with an acceleration 1 meter per second square. We have to find the force in the cable. Also we have to find the reaction on a person 600 Newton weight when the lift is moving upward with a uniform retardation. So let us consider the first case. In this case, we will consider the free body diagram of the lift. Weight is acting downward, tension is acting upward. It is accelerating in the upward direction. Therefore, inertial force will be in the downward direction. If we consider the dynamic equilibrium of the lift, we have T minus 5000 divided by 9.81 A equal to 5000. So we will get T equal to 5509.68 Newton. Next thing is we need to consider the reaction on the floor of a person. So consider the case wherein we are standing on a floor. So the forces acting on our body will be, our weight will be acting vertically downward. From the floor that we are standing, there will be a normal reaction in the upward direction. So the two forces acting on a person standing on a floor is his weight acting vertically downward, reaction from the floor acting upward. Now if this person is standing inside a floor, he is going to accelerate with the same acceleration of the lift. And therefore if you have to analyze the forces on the person, we simply analyze the forces on the person, his weight, normal reaction. In addition to that, there will be inertial force also coming on him. So let us try to analyze this problem. In this case, we have to understand that this is a case where it is having uniform retardation in the upward direction. So how will we solve this? First, we have to develop the free body diagrams for acceleration in the upward direction. Develop the corresponding equations, and in those equations that we have developed, we have to replace a by minus a. So this is the free body diagram. Weight is acting downward, reaction is acting upward, and it is we are assuming it to accelerate in the upward direction. Therefore, inertial force will be in the downward direction. We consider the dynamic equilibrium. This will be the equations, and in this equation we will replace a by minus a. Therefore, we can a is 1 meter per second square, so minus a will be minus 1. We can get the reaction as 538.84 Newton. So this is a practice question. It is similar to the problem that we have solved in the examples. Only thing is there is an additional inclined plane. So quickly going through how to solve this problem. Step 1 will be analyze the tension in all the strings. So it is a single string passing over multiple massless pulleys. Tension will be the same in all the strings. And the tension in this particular portion, you have to analyze the free body diagram of this block. So the tension will be acting upward here, this will be acting upward here, therefore the tension in this string will be 2T. So tension on this block will be 2T, tension on this block will be T, tension of this block will be T. So that will be the nature of the tensions. Next step will be you have to assume the accelerations on the different pulleys. Assume all are directed away from the pulley. So A is acting downward, AB is acting downward, AC is acting downward. Next step is you have to draw a reference line. So reference line has to be perpendicular to the string connecting the pulleys to the block. So this is the direction of the string. This will be one reference line, and the distance up to block B has to be drawn. However, in this case, this block and this pulley will be moving by the same distance as well as acceleration. Therefore, you will only consider the displacement up to this pulley. Second reference line will be this one, perpendicular to the string connecting block A to the pulley, and this will be displacement of XA. Similarly, third reference line will be this line, perpendicular to the string connecting block C to the pulley, and this will be XC. And if you draw the reference, the constraint equation, XA is the first term, this distance XA is the first term, second distance is XP, this term, third distance is pi r, and you may write or you may omit pi r, third distance is XP, and the fourth distance is XC. So all these distance will be equal to L. If you differentiate them twice, you will get this constraint relation. And there are two more relations given with regard to the problems of related to motion of lift. You may try all of them. So to summarize our discussions on rectilinear kinetics, basically what kinetics does is, or what motion does is, it induces forces on the object other than forces that are acting on in a state of rest. So basically we do this by the principle of D'Alembert's principle, wherein the body comes into a state of dynamic equilibrium under the action of inertial force. And inertial force is equal to mass into net acceleration and is directed opposite to the direction of net acceleration. To solve the problems, step number 1 will be analyzing the tension in the strings. So when we analyze the tension in the strings, the tension will be the same on the string passing over massless pulleys. Second thing is, if we have to consider the free body diagrams of the pulleys, find out the tension in all other strings if there are multiple strings. Next step will be to assess the direction of acceleration as well as displacement of the blocks. So this we will assume as directed away from the pulleys. Next step will be to draw the reference lines. Reference line will always be perpendicular to the direction of the strings connecting the blocks to the pulleys. And then we will write the constraint equation, develop those multiple the constraint relation, that is a relationship connecting all the displacements and all the accelerations. So after having done that, then we will draw the free body diagram of different blocks, develop the equations of motion, and then solve them to get the values of tension as well as accelerations. So in the next lecture we will be dealing with curvilinear kinetics. So till then, stay safe, happy learning. Let us together overcome this crisis. We'll be right back. Thank you.